Morning everyone, Friday the 13th in Brindisi, Marina di Brindisi I believe it's called.
Marina di Brindisi.
Okay, there's the professional. I'm sitting here with Mark Scrancher, who's my professional skipper on board for this entire trip from Split, well it's just north of Split, Trogir, back to Barcelona, all being well. So good morning Mark, on one of those mixed emotion days.
Good morning. I think we said good morning a couple of times already over various cups of tea and coffee. Yeah, here we are. A week after we arrived in Brindisi.
Yeah, right enough. It's been
with a lame engine and a rig that was a bit floppy for my taste.
Yep.
It was. What do you think? I don't know. It's both of us keep sort of like beating each other up about what a waste of a week.
Yeah,
but I kind of think that we've probably gained this end what we'd have to gain the other end anyway.
Yeah, I think when you beat yourself up a little bit. Well, I've certainly been beating myself up a little bit about the missed opportunity. Yeah. But I think when you weigh it up with what we've achieved during the week and what we've got done, as you say, we'd have to do at the other end. I think it's, on balance, whilst it's fucking frustrating, it's a good thing.
Is this one of those videos?
Yeah.
We're allowed to swear on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think that we got to. If you look back on it, if you sort of work backwards from here, we got to Trogir. And were assured by, not so much the previous owner, he kind of had the wool pulled over his eyes a wee bit, but certainly there were jobs that were due to be done in Croatia that he paid for and we paid for, and the jobs were either half done or not even attempted. Now, we started off on a journey of approximately 1,200 nautical miles in the firm belief that everything was good on the boat, and if you remember, as soon as we put the Genoa out, I went, the rig's all floppy. In fact, I remember we actually tightened the backstays and put the split pins back in before we left. I mean, the thing was flopping around like a barn door.
And there was no split pins.
And there was no split pins. Somebody had not tuned the rig. They'd actually loosened the rig and then not put it back together again. So that was kind of a running repair before we left, and I still wasn't happy about the state of the forestay. The headsail, in my opinion, was floppy. We were getting all sorts of vibration on the mast. We had the Windex flapping around like a barn door as well. So I wasn't, as you know, I wasn't best pleased.
Yeah.
However, we did have a reasonably good sail down. I think the boys enjoyed their first experience of night sailing, and we had a lovely full moon. And it was all very positive actually until we got to about sort of 10 miles from Brindisi, when I did my usual 3-hour engine check and found the engine sump, engine bilge, should I say, was full of oil.
Good inch of oil in it, or half an inch anyway.
Yeah, so, I thought, well, Brindisi I know is a big port. We had a good chat about that, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we thought it was probably prudent to come in here and fix that, because if you've got the opportunity to resolve a problem, you want to do it before it gets any worse, or before you trundle off to some territory where you can't find a mechanic, never mind a Yanmar dealer.
Yeah, well, I think that was the thing for me. As soon as you're looking up the pilot book and it says Yanmar dealer, you go, I have to stop here. It's like driving past the petrol station, we said, with the sniff of petrol in your engine. And I suppose we have talked about this as well. We only arrived in Brindisi on the Monday, late Monday, on board on Tuesday, unloaded all those bloody crates. In Trogir. And we got everything. It wasn't exactly ship shape. We bucked everything on board, and the weather window was there, so we just took a punt and went for it. And I think that was still the right thing to do, because we'd probably still be in bloody Croatia.
Well, if we are, the thing is, there was no point in staying. I mean, we could have said, well, let's stay in Croatia. If these problems had come to light immediately, we said, well, let's stay here and get them fixed. Sadly, there was no technicians until the 16th of Jan.
Of course, yes, I kind of forgot about that.
We kind of had to go, really, didn't we?
We were between a rock and a hard place, really. I'd forgotten about the 16th being, which is Monday. So actually, look what we've done.
We would still be there.
Yeah, we would still be there.
And very, very pissed off.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not. We've crossed the Adriatic. We're down here. We're in a safe very efficient port, where the guys have bent over backwards to help us out. We had the rigger of all riggers around here yesterday.
He was a good boy, wasn't he?
Who spent the whole day tuning the rig and adjusting the forestay, and he dismantled the electric and motor in order to adjust the forestay. It was a whole day's job.
He did a wee bit of cleaning on the electric furler, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He also secured the guard for the radar, so that's not flopping around anymore. and tuned the Windex and the repeaters.
Yeah.
So he did a great job. We're also at the moment, and it's not back together yet, but we can't really fault Denise Yacht Services because they looked at us. I mean, okay, they haven't got a lot on at the moment.
It's a bit quiet.
But
Ghost town.
we had a meeting with the guy who owns that company on Monday, and he gave us 2 scenarios. We went down the scenario A, which was to fix the problem as opposed to overhaul the engine.
Yeah.
And if this turbo goes back on today properly, we, after sea trials, I think we'll be in a much better and more secure situation than we were before we left the other place. I think there's a lot of frustration on our part, isn't there? The other people didn't do their job properly.
Yeah.
But then again, you've had a week to get to know the boat.
Well, that's the big bonus, isn't it? And
pull your stuff away.
Well, the big thing for me was obviously getting stuff stowed away in a home that hopefully will be fairly permanent now. That and starting to learn where I've actually put all the stuff.
Where are the mold grips? Where are the mold grips, by the way?
There. Which colour do you want? Yeah. So there's all that, and then all the, a few wee running repairs that needed to be done, and so I'm on reflection. It's been a bit of a cloud with a silver lining, a bit more expensive than what we'd anticipated, and we're not as far as we are, but it's better than sitting in Sicily with no Yanmar dealer and in a shitty anchorage or a shitty marina.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So all good.
Yeah, I think bearing in mind the curved balls that were thrown at us at the beginning, we've actually come out of this all right.
Yeah.
The other great advantage of calling here is we're 45 minutes walk from the airport.
Yeah, that is handy.
Rather than being, in the back.
A 2-hour taxi drive in the back of a Jeep.
Which we know in Italy taxis are not cheap.
Yep.
So it's if you're going to pick positives out of it, I think we're starting again from a destination that's a couple of hundred miles closer, but with the boat in much better shape.
Yeah, and we know the boat a bit better now. We know all the little some of the idiosyncrasies of her. So it's you got to take the positives, don't you? Because what else can you do, really?
Yeah, I mean, you look at
the weather's the weather.
That's it. I mean, crossing the Med in the winter is a challenge, and anybody will tell you that.
You did say to me that, sort of October, November time, and I sort of thought it couldn't be that bad, could it? My lack of knowledge came through there fairly well. But yes, when you look at it, if
there's any consolation, I admired your gameness. Okay,
but, had to be done.
Yeah, but we will
prevail.
We will prevail. We'll get going again when we come back. Hopefully, it'll be within a week or so.
Yep.
And we'll start again, but from 200 miles closer.
Yeah, and a lot more confidence probably as well in the boat.
A lot more confidence in the boat for sure.
And I think that'll help.
I mean, you remember. I'm sure you remember my comments to you when we met in Trogir last time, and I said, I hope those have done what they said they did. I don't think they will have done. I reckon they've cleaned it. I reckon they've cleaned it up and given it back to us and said, job done.
Got the duster in.
And they didn't actually do any bloody thing.
Yeah, they didn't. They serviced the engine, but they didn't tackle the oil. And that's
why we stopped.
That's the bottom line,
yeah. Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Anyway, hopefully we'll have the crew back together as well.
I think,
or at least 3/4 of the crew.
Yeah, I think that's another little bonus that's given the boys an opportunity to go home and do what they had to do. They were going to have to go home to do anyway, and come back again. And obviously gives me the opportunity to get home and sort a few things out and make some people happy. So all good, really.
Yeah.
On hindsight,
I think so.
So that's about us. That's where we are. 2 weeks from just shy of 2 weeks from leaving.
Yes.
2 weeks from arriving. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's been positive, but here we are, and that's us. That's all.
The nice thing is he likes the boat.
Yeah, I love the boat. She's a peach. That it's like to be fair, we're okay. They're not minor little issues. They're big issues, but everything else is peachy. And that once we get
those little issues of the engine and the sails.
Yeah, tiny issues. Yeah, tiny issues. And the wheels, the steering wheels.
And the steering wheels, indeed. Yeah.
So that's us.
So you finished. You want to wrap this up for us?
Yeah. So that's us. So we'll see you again in a week, 10 days time. We'll hopefully be back. I'll keep an eye out on the www.sailingmacmac.com or on all the other normal social media outlets or inlets or whatever they're called. So listening out, channel 16. Thank you.
Cheerio.